Hey everyone, it's Crystal, and I'm here to introduce you guys to Jude. He's sleeping right now. But there he is. Let's see if I can. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Say hi, Jude. Huh. He's just like his mommy and his daddy. When he's asleep, he's asleep. Um, let's see. Today, Jude is a week and 1 day, which is a shock because it seems like I just had him yesterday. Can't believe how fast time flies. And he's such a blessing. I can't stop kissing his cheeks. He's so cute. And I know every parent thinks that their child is cute, but I think mine is cute. He's my little bean. Um, I want to talk to you guys about my labor and delivery experience. I know the last video that I did, I told you guys about like the process and everything, but I hadn't actually dilated yet. I think when I did the video, um, I didn't dilate 10 centimeters until 10 o'clock. No. Yeah, I think it was like 10 or 10:30. I had finally dilated 10 centimeters. So the doctor was like, okay, you dilated 10 centimeters. Like, she checked me and she was like, time for you to push. And I was like, what? Time for me to push already? Like, it caught me so off guard because I had already had thought, I had already had it set in my mind that I was going to have a C-section because I just was not dilating fast enough. And my water, now listen, you guys, my water had been broken since 4 or 2 a.m. that morning. I didn't go into active labor until 10 o'clock that night. So my water had been broken all that time, but I still had not dilated 10 centimeters until that night. So anyways, when she said, okay, it's time for you to start pushing, my husband grabbed my right leg, my mom grabbed my left leg, and I turned on my cell phone and I turned on my Pandora station. I love the 70s, so I had it on like the disco station. I'm listening to, while I'm pushing, you guys, I have my headphones in and I'm listening to the Commodores and Earth, Wind and Fire and Shaka Khan and Kool and the Gang, and that really helped me like keep my mind off of what was really going on because I was jamming, I was singing, and at the same time I was pushing. It was really fun. Like, labor is not bad. I had no pain whatsoever, and it was probably because I got the epidural so early. Um, and I know there's a lot of people who are against epidurals. I'm not. It was wonderful. It actually made me enjoy my experience. Yes, I could not feel anything from the waist down, but it was a it was it was an event that was a positive event, like a positive memory. Like, my memory of labor and delivery is not going to be of me screaming in pain and me cussing my husband out or wanting to punch him. I actually had a very good positive labor and delivery. Um, One thing I will say about the epidural, because I got it so early, um, when I first started pushing, I couldn't really feel myself push because I was so numb from the waist down. Um, so um, the doctor suggested that maybe we stop the epidural. I'd say we were about 40 minutes into pushing, and she suggested we stop the epidural. That way I can feel more of my body. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Well, before that even happened, they had suggested me having a mirror. That way I can actually see myself pushing and be able to visualize where I needed to push from. So I was like, no, I don't want a mirror. I did not want to see anything that was happening down there. But finally, after some convincing, I was like, okay, I'll take a mirror, bring the mirror in. So the nurse comes in with this big, huge, long mirror, and I freaked out. Oh my, you guys, let me tell y'all something. That sight was something I regret ever seeing. Like, I know it's my body. I know it, but oh my God. Like that vision is going to be forever implanted in my memory. all I remember seeing in the mirror is my legs spread wide open, of course, and I could see the doctor, like, I can't use both of my hands right now, but like slowly pulling me open, more and more open while I'm pushing. So I could see the blood and I could see me ripping. Lord Jesus, I said, take the mirror out. I said, get the mirror out. Oh my God, take the mirror out. They're like, you don't want to, no, I was like, take the mirror out, please. Oh my God, please get the mirror out of here. So they took the mirror out and I was like, just cut the epidural off. Let's get this show on the road. So they cut the epidural off and I was like, okay, I can feel my body now. Now I can actually feel where I'm pushing from. And as soon as that epidural wore off, it was smooth. I mean, it was smooth sailing anyways, but it made it super easy to push him out. And I guess because the epidural was still in my system, I still wasn't feeling any pain, but I was still able to feel what was going on. I was not as numb as I was before. So I think once the epidural wore off, I probably did like 5 pushes and he came out, which is great. So total, I pushed for about an hour total, but I would say the last 10 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, I was pushing without the full epidural. Um, so labor, a breeze. When my baby came out, like I was shocked. I still am shocked. Like I look at him like, this my baby? When he came out, I was like, oh my God, that's him. I do remember scream. I remember I was screaming towards the end, right? His head when his head was coming out. I remember screaming, or not screaming, but I was being goofy. I was joking and laughing the whole time. Like it was such a fun experience. But when I was trying to push his shoulders out, I remember saying, "Oh my God, he's ripping my vagina!" And like my mom and all the doctors, everybody just started busting out laughing. I was like, I feel like my vagina is gonna explode. I must have said that like 10 times when that epidural wore off because like I said, I could really feel it. It wasn't painful, but it literally felt like my vagina was gonna explode. So anyways, I saw my baby. Oh, so he was so cute when he came out. Oh, I just love him so much. It was such a good experience. But okay, people always want to tell you, listen, I'm going to be real. People want to tell you about labor and delivery, about how horrible it is and painful, whatever. Everybody's pregnancy is different. I'm just telling you guys my experience. Labor and delivery a breeze. The after labor and delivery is what really like killed me. Not killed me, but that was that was horrible. Okay, so I pushed about right. So once you push the baby out, the doctor has to go in and start. If you tear, they have to start stitching. So, and once again, now my epidural is like pretty much worn off, and so the doctors get down there and they're stitching. She's like, "Can you feel that?" I'm like, yeah, I can feel that." It wasn't painful, but I could still feel the stitching. They had to stitch me literally. I got ripped so bad from him. They literally stitched me from my butthole all the way up to the top. I mean, I'm just letting you see, these are things people didn't tell me. So I wanted, for those of you who are trying to conceive, or those of you who've never had a baby before, never been through the whole labor and delivery experience, I'm letting you guys know what to expect because that was something I was not expecting. I ripped from my butthole all the way to the top. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. My mom was like, Crystal, my mom and my husband were like, we couldn't look. We couldn't look. She was like, I can't even tell you how many stitches they put in you. And I was like, trust me, Mom, I felt it. I felt all the stitches that they put on me. So after they stitched me up, I still had the catheter. I believe I still had the catheter in me while I was pushing, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, earlier that night, I remember I remember I told you guys I had a catheter. The nurse kept coming in and she was like, "Your bag is empty. You know, no urine is coming from your catheter." And she said, "What happens is maybe your baby might be pressing against the tube, which is blocking your urine from coming out." I didn't think anything about that after she said that. So when after they had done the stitches, I was in the worst pain. This is where I was in pain. It felt like my kidneys were being ripped to shreds. Like then I almost started to cry because my kidneys were hurting so bad. I was balled over in the bed, and I remember just thinking, God, what is wrong with my back? Like at first I thought, well, maybe it was because of me pushing. I'm just now starting to feel the pain because the epidurals wore off. I was like, no, this just does not feel right. So after like 15 minutes of just moaning and groaning and just being in the worst pain, I buzzed the nurse and I said, is there anything that you can give me for my back, my lower back? I feel like my kidneys are on fire. She was like, yeah, I'll come back and I'll bring you some Motrin. Well, she said, well, first, do you have to use the restroom? And I felt like I didn't have to, and I told her, no, I don't feel like I have to use the bathroom. She's like, well, I'm gonna take the catheter out, and if you have to go to the restroom, just let me know, because I was still not, like, I still couldn't walk. So she was like, let me know, and I'll walk you to the bathroom. And I said, okay. And I said, well, you know what? Let me try to go to the restroom. I'll try. So as soon as she lifted me off the bed and I was walking to the toilet, she was walking me to the toilet, the biggest gush of blood, everything just dropped out of me on the bathroom floor while the nurse was walking me. I mean, it was so crazy. My husband heard all of the blood hit the floor, and he looked. So much blood had came out of me. Like, I had, by then they had put me in the panties, the hospital panties that they had, and the pads, because of course they expect you to bleed a little. Well, when I got up, the the blood clots that came out of me were these are just the blood clots. They were 300 milliliters. They were so heavy, and I lost so much blood when I stood up that my underwear, everything dropped to the floor. That's how much blood came out. That actually pushed my underwear that I was wearing and the pad down to the floor, and blood was just gushing out. It was going everywhere. And I said, I looked down, and the nurse, she looked at me, and I said, I'm losing a lot of blood. And she said, yeah, you are. And so she put me on the toilet, and I was like, should I go pee? She was like, yes, go pee. You need to empty out your bladder. And so she rushed to the bed, and she was like, we need a doctor stat to delivery room. I forgot what delivery room I was in. So next thing I know, the doctor rushes in the room, and I'm down on the toilet. They get me off the toilet. They put me in the bed, and they give me a shot in my thigh. And she said the problem was my uterus was not contracting. So I was pretty much bleeding out because my uterus wasn't contracting. So they gave me the shot in my thigh, and they warned me that it could cause very serious diarrhea. I was like, oh, okay, I don't care, I don't care about the diarrhea. I need this shot, or else I'm going to bleed to death. So they gave me the shot in my thigh, and the bleeding stopped. That bleeding stopped, and they gave me some Motrin. And I forgot to tell you, as soon as I urinated, you guys, the pain in my back went away. What had happened was, because my catheter was blocked, my bladder was beyond full, like it was past capacity. My bladder probably could have burst because I had gone for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I'm talking about probably over maybe 20 hours I had gone without urinating while I have all these fluids being injected. I had an IV constantly in me. So I'm having all this fluid in me, but it's not going anywhere. I'm not urinating. So my bladder was so full that it was starting to affect my kidneys. So as soon as I went to the restroom, the pain in my kidneys went away, thank God. Now I had this other thing to worry about, which was my bleeding and the diarrhea. So this was like about, I don't know what time that was, but then around 2, and my husband's there the whole time. I didn't want him in the room while I told him, you have to leave. He had this look of fear when he saw the blood I lost. But anyway, so they told me, okay, you're probably gonna have diarrhea, so just buzz us. If I say, can I go to the restroom? They're like, no, you can't go to the restroom. We're gonna give you a bedpan. I'm like, ugh, okay, that's weird. I've never used the restroom in a bedpan. So I say 20 minutes after they gave me a shot, I was like, oh my God, I really have to use the bathroom. So I buzzed the nurse. I was like, can you bring the bedpan in here, please? I really have to go. So she brought the bedpan in. And you know what's so weird? I almost started crying because I did not want to go to the bathroom in the bedpan. It grossed me out so much. I mean, because I don't know if you guys have used the bedpan before. I never have, but they stick that bedpan under you. You're in the bed, and you're literally using the restroom in the bed, but in the bedpan, of course. And it freaked me out so bad that, like, it took me probably 10 minutes to actually let myself go in it. And let me tell you guys, that shot, when they say it gives you diarrhea, I was in the bedpan from like 1 in the morning up until 7 o'clock that morning. I had constant diarrhea for 6 hours. Every time I thought I was finished, I'm like, nurse, can you come, change my bedpan? They were so sweet. They come in and change it and clean me up, and it was like a second later, it would just come right out. In the bed, if I tried to stand up, anything, It was constant. It was horrible. I thank God for those nurses and the diligence that they have and the patience and care that they have, because you guys, it was nothing pretty. It was horrible. And what made it even worse is I hadn't eaten in, still hadn't eaten now. It's been like 2 days, and I'm having this horrible diarrhea, just the worst diarrhea. So I'm feeling even more sick because I don't have anything in my stomach, and the little thing I did have in my stomach, it's coming out. And so they transferred me to the room that they transfer you to after you have your baby, and I'm still having the diarrhea. I meet the new nurses. They come in and show me how to clean myself, because when you get stitches, you can't just wipe yourself with toilet paper. They give you this squeeze bottle with soap and water that you can fill up, and you have to squeeze it while you're sitting on the toilet, squeeze it on yourself to cleanse yourself. And then they have these like kind of they're not paper towels. They're softer than paper towels, but they're not tissue, and they give it to you to pat yourself to dry yourself off. And the nurse got, thank you, oh my God, I cannot thank those nurses enough, and the doctors. Like, she came in and she sat me on the toilet and she cleaned me, she squirted it on me, showed me how to use it, showed me how to pat myself, and I just thank God so much for those nurses. And the nurse that I had, she was pregnant. She just found out she was pregnant. God knows I could not do that job if I was pregnant. I'd have been barfing all over the place. And she was taking such good care of me. So I was really swollen. I was really swollen from the stitches and of course from labor. And then, ooh, no, ooh, let me tell you guys, the hemorrhoids you will get from pushing your baby out will be that. Oh my, I'm still suffering. Like, I'm suffering right now from the hemorrhoids. My butthole literally, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm just being completely honest with you. My butthole turned inside out. Like, if you Googled external hemorrhoids and look at the pictures on Google, like the extreme cases, that is me. Today, even as I'm sitting here right now, my butthole is turned inside out. It's flesh all on the outside. It's no skin. It's the worst. The hemorrhoids have to be the worst pain that I've experienced during labor and delivery. The pain I've experienced in my vaginal area, not bad at all. I mean, it stitches. It was sore. It was swollen, but it wasn't bad. Motrin took care of that pain. But when you have hemorrhoids, that's a whole nother story. I mean, it hurt for me to sit. It hurt for me to lay down. It hurt for me to use the bathroom. It hurt when I wasn't doing anything. It was just the worst pain I can explain. It was just horrible. And they gave me like the Tux pads with witch hazel, and that helped relieve it, like kind of cool off some of the pain. But it's like I said, to this day, I mean, my butthole still turned inside out. It just helps relieve the pain, but it doesn't fix the problem. So I'm still having issues with that. So those were the, oops, oh crap, I bent that. Oops, sorry guys. That was the most um, problematic thing for me during labor and delivery was the hemorrhoids. Everything else I thought was cool, and of course me bleeding. And I'm thankful that the shot did stop that, because if it wasn't for modern medicine, I would have bled to death because my uterus just was not contracting for whatever reason. Okay, so enough about labor and delivery. I was in the hospital, let's see, from 8 o'clock Tuesday, and I didn't get discharged until Friday around 4 p.m. So yeah, I was in the hospital for a while. I know usually they only keep you 24 hours, but they wanted to monitor me, and I guess him, since he was 2 weeks early. After that, came home. I'm still in very, 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 very sore. Once after you have the baby, your body is trying to, I guess, adapt to not supporting another life. So my hormones are completely and totally out of whack. I don't have a loss of appetite. I really don't have an appetite anymore. My feet and my legs are ridiculously swollen. I don't know why, but they haven't gone down at all. The doctor said that's normal, so I guess that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with until it goes away. Um, it's so weird. Like, my pelvic bones will pop. It's kind of like my body's trying to close itself back up, like to heal itself back up from the inside out, because I feel certain things pop and crack and they feel different when I move. So I'm still in the healing process. Like, I would say, first of all, oh, my body's shot. Okay, whatever flat stomach I had before, semi-flat stomach I had before, however my body, you guys, it's a little depressing. I'm not even gonna lie, because my stomach is, it looks like, not that I'm 9 months pregnant, it looks like I'm about maybe 5 months pregnant. My stomach has not gone down. I started dieting yesterday, and it's still too early for me to like work out. I think they said 6 weeks. I have to wait 6 weeks before I really start working out. So I'm just dieting right now, healthy diet, to at least, come down a little bit on my, or come down a lot on my weight. And then I'll have to work on actually toning my stomach later once the 6 weeks passes. Um, let's see, anything else? Being a mother's great. Last night I think I only got 30 minutes of sleep because he was constipated, my poor baby. So he was just not feeling good. So he was up all night. I was up all night with him, and I love it. I love spending time with him. I love being with him. Motherhood is great. It's the best job in the world. My husband is so awesome. You guys know he has 2 kids from a previous marriage, so this isn't his first rodeo, and he is not rusty at all. His youngest son from the previous marriage is 8, and my husband is not rusty. Man, he has taken, like, from me recovery, he changed all the diapers. He got up with the baby. He fed the baby. He showed me everything, how to take care of our son, because it's my first baby, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really, really, really clueless. Thank God for my husband. He has just gone above and beyond the call of duty, and he's a dad, and I know, that's what dads are supposed to do, but I know a lot of men who do not help out whatsoever with taking care of their children, or who aren't even in the picture anyway. So I really have to thank my husband for all that he's done in making sure that our little prince is doing good and continuing to do good. Well, I have to go. We have a doctor's appointment. I know you guys have been waiting to meet Jude, and I'm sorry he's asleep, but I'm glad you guys did get to see him. I will do another video, though, maybe next week. I'm not sure, but I'll do another video, and I'll make sure to keep you guys posted. And I know a few of you guys do follow me on Instagram, so if you want to stay updated more, then on YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram, and my Instagram username is the letter C _ SALEH_XO. Okay, well, I'll talk to you guys later. Jude says bye. He says thank you guys so much for all of your prayers, for your support. We honestly cannot say thank you enough. I really do see you guys as like part of the family. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great week. Bye.